Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and I'm back today with another video. I believe it's the 10th in a series that I'm doing about preparing for a job search. Now, I want to start off with a story here about a snake being transported by a turtle across a creek. And, the snake promises not to bite the turtle, because after all, if it bites the turtle, both of them will die. The snake will go into the river, drown, the turtle will also die. And they're about halfway across the stream, and suddenly the snake bites the turtle. And the turtle looks up before he dies and goes, "I thought you promised." And the turtle and the snake pauses for a second and go, "It's my nature. It's what I do." So that leads to a discussion about what I call career madness. We all start working for our first employer, and we have this incredible naive belief that if we do a good job, we'll be recognized and rise through organizations to an executive role. And that this organization is going to see our work as being wonderful and value us and want to reward us with more money and more authority. Now, what always happens is reality disappoints us, and we start to learn how unimportant we are to that firm. That basically, people are brought in from the outside over us who have more knowledge and experience, and they're taking the jobs that we crave. Sometimes we run into people who really are empty suits or emperors without new clothes, but they've hypnotized management into believing that they're capable with great stories on their interviews. Slowly but surely, firms disappoint us, and there's an emotional death by 1,000 cuts that takes place. And I know that happened to me with the last agency I contracted with. I was with them for more than 10 years. I joined as a top performer. I was sought out. I was aggressively pursued. I eventually joined. And in bizarre circumstances, over the course of time, although on the one hand, management said they wanted us to succeed, on the other hand, they did lots of things to make it very difficult to succeed. And I know that's bizarre given the fact that this is a sales organization. The more money the salespeople bring in, the more the organization makes, but that's what happened. So basically, for a while, I resigned myself to accepting being mediocre. And maybe that's what's happened to you, and it's prompting you to finally step up and start looking at other alternatives. Basically, I want to say to you that you won't be the leader that you want to be without rocking a boat or two. And being a compliant, obedient employee isn't going to get you to where you want to be. There's a book by Marshall Goldsmith with the title of "What Got You Here Won't Get You There." Now, he's talking about a much broader subject of leadership and how leaders step up in class. But for average Jane, average Joe, the same is also true. Being the cog in the machine isn't going to work for you. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you be. Your role is looking out for yourself. And if you haven't been doing this in the last organization, I want to prepare you and start supporting you with working and playing toward being the person that you want to be professionally before the slow, mind-numbing nature of being an employee grinds you up in the next organization as well. So often people learn the lesson of loyalty through, that magic moment. I put magic with a sarcastic tone to it because, what often happens is they learn how disposable they are. When one day they are invited into a conference room, greeted by HR, and their manager sitting in his seat silently and the HR person starts talking with them about how it's time for them to go. They're being laid off. They're slipping a sheet of paper in front of them to sign off on. Never sign the paper. Never saw. Take it with you. Say you'll get back to them. They'll make all sorts of veiled and unveiled threats. Just say, I want to be able to read this at a time where I'm not as dumbstruck as I am now. You can't have the faith in an organization or surrender the authority for your career and your life to the next firm. You are responsible for it. Only you know what you need to do in order to succeed. And surrendering it and abdicating it to the firm that's the next choice is no better. So I want to get to a point where I say, you need to get off the crack of accepting what others think of you as being particularly important, except on the rare occasions where there's something valuable there. Firms have a great way of telling you when you do something wrong and ignoring you when you do it right 999.9% of the time, 999.9% out of 1,000. When you get a job offer, here's what I want you to answer. You want to thank them for making the offer, and then from there say, I'd like 24 hours to think about it. They're going to say, what's wrong? They're going to try and get you to accept the job. And then from there, I want you to say, I don't want to just accept the offer for the money. I want to make sure that I'm joining for all the right reasons. So indulge me for 24 hours. I'm very tempted to say yes. And I've learned a long time ago that I get caught up in the emotions and I have to do a last minute check to make sure I'm not being caught up in the whirlwind of this. By doing that, I don't want you to fall for this other form of madness, of the seduction of the money. You're not there to prostitute yourself to the next employer. You want to make sure that this is the right choice for you. I'm Jeff Altman. Hope you found this helpful. My website is thebiggamehunter.us. I hope you visit it. Go exploring, particularly in the blog area. There's a lot more there that you can watch, listen to, or read to help you find your next job more quickly. Hope you have a great day. Take care.